Today we're talking about hunting gear, the kind that decides whether you're dragging out a buck or heading home cold and empty-handed. Forget gimmicks and overpriced fluff. These are 13 real-world essentials that seasoned hunters won't leave the truck without. So, what separates a good hunt from a miserable one? Let's dig into the gear that actually matters. Number 1. Weapon and ammunition. A deer hunt begins and ends with the tool in your hands. So let's kick things off with your hunting weapon of choice and the ammo for it. Ensure the rifle, shotgun, or bow you pack has already proven itself on paper at the same ranges you expect in the field. A borrowed AR-10 shooting 168 grain soft points will do the job, but only if you've confirmed point of impact after the last torque on the scope mounts. Pack a full magazine plus maybe 10 loose rounds in a pocket. The extra weight is minor, and nothing wrecks confidence, more like hearing an empty click when you finally have a broadside buck in the pines. Also, make sure to protect your optics during the ride. Keep the muzzle taped until you're in position, just so it keeps dirt, snow, or moisture out, and sling your rifle safely when climbing. Finally, memorize your drop chart, or tape it to the stock. A calm glance beats fuzzy math when adrenaline spikes. Number 2. License, tags, pen, and zip ties. Long before daylight touches the treetops, confirm that your license sits in a waterproof sleeve inside your breast pocket. Laws differ from county to county, but every warden alive will ask you for that paper before he worries about anything else. A cheap ballpoint lives beside it, wrapped with 2 zip ties, one for the tag, one for insurance when cold fingers fumble the first. Punch the date immediately after the shot and attach the tag through the hamstring or antler base. Never toss it loose in the truck bed. Include a printed regs booklet for quick reference on antler point minimums, legal shooting hours, and carcass transport rules. Keeping everything together spares you frantic digging if an officer steps from behind a cedar. It also builds good habits. Tag in, pen out, zip secure, then photograph for your records. Paperwork may feel dull, yet it changes a harvested deer into legally owned venison in under a minute. Still with me, hunters? Hit that subscribe button. It's quieter than a soft step in the woods and quicker than a scope check. No gimmicks, just straight up gear that works. Join the tribe that packs smart and hunts sharper. Number 3. Sharp knife and bone saw. A razor-keen blade turns field dressing from a wrestling match into a streamlined chore. I carry a stout 4-inch fixed blade on my belt and a replaceable blade scalpel in my pack. Switching when an edge dulls is much faster than whetstone work in the dark. Before season, strop both until they shave effortlessly. A compact bone saw or folding limb saw handles the pelvis or brisket without risking blade chips. One caution though, never lay tools on leaves. They vanish. Instead, stick the knife tip into a log or wedge the saw on a forked branch within arm's reach. Nitrile gloves and baby wipes ride beside the steel, keeping hands clean and sticky handles under control. After the final cut, rinse the blade with bottled water, wipe it dry, and slide it back into a molded sheath that won't slice through gear. Treat these edges with respect. The next cut should be meat, not your thumb. Number 4. Binoculars. Many beginners think glass is optional, that is until a deer stands statue still at dusk, half hidden behind broomweed. 8 or 10 power binoculars bridge the gap between bare eyes and a scope, letting you judge antlers, confirm brow tines, or spot the flick of an ear long before the shot. Keep the strap short so the body rests mid-chest and doesn't thump your belt buckle. A harness or bino pouch is fine, but I prefer an open sling for instant access when a distant crunch interrupts silence. Now, if budget allows, choose glass with built-in range finding. Knowing the exact yardage shaves precious seconds off holdover decisions. Glass through every opening and again before standing to leave. Countless hunters spot deer only after they've packed up for lunch. Make sure to wipe lenses with a dedicated microfiber cloth, not a shirt tail coated in dust. Quality binoculars weigh little compared to the confidence they add, and confidence often translates into well-placed shots. Number 5. Headlamp and spare batteries. Legal light may end half an hour after sunset, yet recovery often stretches deep into darkness. A good headlamp keeps both hands free for dragging, cutting, and steadying a map. Choose one with a silent button and get a red or green mode to preserve night vision inside the blind. Fresh lithium cells actually last longer in cold weather. Stash a spare set in a zip bag taped to the headband. so you aren't digging after the beam fades. Clip a slim tactical flashlight to your chest pocket as backup. When tracking, sweep the beam low. The angle makes blood drops glisten against brown leaves. Also, mark last sign with orange tape before widening your search. It's amazing how a winding trail loops back in on itself. At camp, recharge everything before sleep. Light is cheap until you need it. Then it becomes priceless. Number 6. Drag harness or paracord. A whitetail sprawled on frosty grounds looks manageable until you grab a hind leg and feel your boots skid. A dedicated shoulder harness distributes weight across your torso, letting leg muscles, not biceps, haul the load. If you forget it, 20 feet of 550 cord tied in a Prusik loop around the antlers or neck works too. Keep knots simple so gloved fingers cooperate. Before dragging, prop the mouth open with a stick to drain fluids and reduce dirt intake. Angle the body uphill when possible. Downhill pulls may seem easier, but invite piled up legs snagging every root. Take short rests and sip water. Overexertion steals focus and invites injuries. Near the truck, switch to a tarp or sled to protect the hide if you plan a mount. Efficient extraction preserves meat temperature and leaves energy for quartering or a second evening sit. Number 7. Blaze orange and layered clothing. Blaze fabric isn't fashion. It tells every other hunter your silhouette is human. A mesh vest packs small, breathes during archery heat waves, and slides over bulkiest parka once rifle season opens. Pair it with an orange beanie. Deer perceives it as a muted gray, but fellow hunters see you instantly. Underneath, build layers. Start with a moisture-wicking base, add an insulating wool shirt, then a quiet soft shell that blocks wind without scraping bark like stiff nylon. Skip cotton. It traps sweat and chills you when the temperature dives at sundown. Always break in boots weeks ahead and carry spare socks in a zipper bag. Good clothing lets you stay still longer, and stillness hunts deer more effectively than mile-long hikes. Pack lightweight rain pants with full-length zips. Stepping into them over boots keeps you dry after a surprise squall without removing footwear and spreading scent. Number 8. Food, water, and purification. Hunger distracts, and dehydration dulls judgment. Slip high-protein bars, jerky, and a peanut butter sandwich into an outer pocket where you can reach them without emptying the pack. Drink early rather than waiting for thirst. Cold air is dehydrating even when you don't sweat. A 1-liter Nalgene rides in the side sleeve, complemented by a Sawyer mini filter in case a follow-up trail pushes you 3 ridges from the truck. Keep electrolyte tablets in a film canister. Quick sodium and potassium curb cramping during a long drag. If you process on-site, fill a collapsible bladder at the creek for rinsing quarters. Empty containers weigh nothing on the hike out, but mean the difference between comfortable focus and shaky fatigue while glassing. Plan calories the same way you plan rounds. A little excess never hurts, and what you don't eat becomes tomorrow's lunch. Number 9. Scent control. No spray bottle replaces wind awareness. Before climbing into a stand, check direction with a pinch of milkweed floss or a talcum puff. Then position so your personal odor cone drifts into dead ground rather than bedding or feeding routes. Shower in scent-free soap if water's available. Wash clothes in unscented detergent and store them in a tote with pine needles, not gasoline-fumed gear bags. Once afield, move slowly to minimize disturbance. Sweating floods the air with human scent far faster than clean skin at rest. Renew confidence with a light coat of field spray after a midday stalk, though remember it only buys forgiveness, not invisibility. Ground hunters hunting crosswind often view deer broadside, giving perfect ribs to shoulder shots. Combine basic hygiene, wind savvy, and patient placement. You'll outsmart the fanciest ozone gadget every time. Number 10. Survival kit. Deer hunting is often a day trip, until it's not. A twisted ankle or an unexpected storm can turn a calm afternoon into a cold night. That's why I carry a minimalist survival pouch sealed in a zip bag. Mine holds a space blanket, waterproof matches, a ferro rod wrapped in waxed jute, and a Bic lighter. There's also a loud plastic whistle, a laminated topo map with my fallback routes marked in Sharpie, and a compass. I throw in 10 feet of paracord and a small tarp, folded tight. Nothing bulky, nothing too fancy, just enough to make fire, create shelter, and signal for help. If you're hunting in big woods or western hills where cell signals cut out, this kit is not optional. You'll rarely need to unzip it, but when the wind kicks up or GPS quits working, it could be the one reason you walk out smiling. Number 11. Tree stand safety gear. Statistics don't lie. Falls injure more hunters than errant bullets. A full body harness rated to hunting standards clips in before your boots leave the last rung. Use a lineman's belt while ascending, switch to a tether at height, and attach a lifeline so you're clipped from ground to seat. Tie a length of paracord to your unloaded firearm and hoist it once you're settled. Muzzle remains down, chamber empty until you're anchored and ready to hunt. Inspect stand straps each season. Ultraviolet light, squirrels, and freeze-thaw cycles chew webbing silently. For climbers, wax the rails and check the cable teeth. Carry a folding step in case you drop the pull rope, a cheap insurance policy against spending dawn watching your rifle lean against the trunk out of reach. Safety routines feel tedious until they save a spine. Number 12. First aid and hygiene kit. Injuries out in the field don't always gush blood. It's the nagging blisters, sliced knuckles, or sunburned necks that can wreck your focus and cut your hunts short. That's why I personally carry a small kit for real-world issues. 2 gauze pads, a couple of band-aids, moleskin, medical tape, antiseptic wipes, and maybe a mini tube of superglue for cuts. A small roll of stretchy bandage can brace a twisted ankle well enough to hobble out. I also toss in ibuprofen, allergy meds, and 2 pairs of nitrile gloves, and a resealable bag of baby wipes. Not just for bathroom breaks. They clean bloody hands, wipe your blade clean, or freshen up your face after belly crawling through dust. Pack a second zip bag for used ones, because nothing ruins a pack like that smell. Now, this isn't trauma gear for gunshot wounds. It's the stuff that keeps you hunting instead of limping back to the truck. Number 13. An organized day pack. And last but very not least is a reliable pack. Choose something quiet. Maybe brushed polyester or canvas, around 25 liters. Load heavy, seldom used gear low and tight on your back. Rain gear, survival kit, extra ammo. Medium use items like knife, bone saw, headlamp, and snacks should ride mid-pack. Top and exterior pockets hold speed items. That's your gloves, wind checker, range card, and flagging tape. Thread 2 feet of blaze cord through zipper pulls so cold fingers can find them in the dark. Cinch straps to prevent load shifting when stocking. Once in the stand, hang the pack on a screw-in hook at shoulder height. Rooting around on the floor wastes time and spreads scent. Every piece should have a home you can find blindfolded. Repack the same way after lunch. Muscle memory will retrieve gear quietly when a surprise buck slips through the edge of shooting light. And that's it for the 13 pieces of gear every serious hunter should pack. If there's an essential you swear by that we might have overlooked, make sure to drop it in the comments. We're always learning. Hit like, share this with your hunting crew, and subscribe for more honest gear guides, woodsmanship tips, and field-tested know-how. Stay sharp, stay safe, and good hunting.
This is Threat to Survival. Prepare today, thrive tomorrow. Embrace the threat to survival.